Good morning, guys. Tuesday, December 4th, and just want to go over a few pre-market things here this morning to help us get prepared for today. So what we can do here, guys, is let me go on ahead and open up my charts here. All right, so first things we want to talk about this morning, guys, is the bigger picture and kind of what took place yesterday. The main focus heading into yesterday obviously was, the China news, and we were all pretty excited, as the market was set to pop. However, one thing I mentioned to you guys yesterday morning pre-market was to, let the dust settle, practice some patience, and not go rushing into, trades immediately. And, as a general statement, that turned out to be a good idea yesterday. So, we'll take a look here at the SPY on something like a 5-minute chart. And, really nasty pullback from the open yesterday, guys. Here is why you have to practice patience. For anyone who tried to jump the gun and get antsy yesterday and go long really anywhere near the open, it likely was a pretty painful move to the downside. Take a look at the Qs. Same thing here, nasty pullbacks to the Qs, and then, things like a Netflix, even crazier. So just wanted to bring this back up, guys, is a nice reminder that you really are not going to regret sitting back and being patient, especially in the choppy, volatile environment that we've been in. You're not really going to miss out on anything by patiently waiting for the dust to settle. So I'm going to urge each of you to do the very same thing today. Don't come into this session with any bias. Don't come into this session with any agenda. Rather, have a notebook, have your list of setups that you want to attack, and then just simply sit back and observe the price action, observe the market, and wait for your pitches. For anyone trying to jump the gun and make these quick split-second decisions, it's just not the environment for that. And truthfully, trading in a rushed manner isn't really where you want to be ultimately anyway. So that's my spiel in terms of, the bigger picture, guys. Let's just keep that in mind. We are not in an environment right now where rushing into trades has been a good idea. It's really been a bad idea. So patience today, guys. The market did close, back up somewhat, towards the midpoint, highs of the day, but it was just not the crazy, powerful day of buying that at least I think a lot of us thought we were going to see. However, with all that being said, we are back above the 200 here, which is this red line. So we're back above the 200 here for the SPY, but the Qs kind of struggling here at the 200. So with all that being said, we're not really, out of the woods yet in terms of making some huge rally, but a few things we want to focus on today, guys. First things first, I'll go over my open position. Doing a lot of day trading lately. The only open position I have at the moment is Herbalife. So I took Herbalife. Again, this is my classic setup. Perfect squeeze on big volume. I took that entry on Thursday, and I have, contracts that expire on the 14th of December. Now, moving, decently in my direction, but, the options aren't really, moving in price too much. So there's no real reason for me to sell this position. However, it's not really bearing fruit. So good entry. I'm being patient, but, kind of, tight leash here on Herbalife. Definitely not going to let it turn into a losing trade. That's my only open position at the moment, guys. And in terms of a few things we want to look at, I think the first thing we should focus on is stocks at or around their 200-day moving averages. So first thing that comes to mind today is Google. Google tried to poke its head above that 200 yesterday, couldn't quite make it. So we're trading just below the 200 on Google. Now the market is going to be a bit odd today. We're closed tomorrow for the death of former President Bush, which I'm not sure if that's a tradition. I haven't been alive through many presidents dying, but a bit odd in my opinion. Anyways, so market could be odd this week, but we do want to pay attention to these setups. So the first setup I think that each of you should have in your notebook is Google here. We want to play this 200, and when the market does make another leg back to the upside, I would like to trade Google above the 200. Same thing here for the Qs. Qs kind of pinned just at or below that 200 yesterday. It's a level you guys want to definitely pay attention to today. Do we bounce off the 200 and get some buying strength, or do we slowly fade and leak below that 200? Just a key level that you guys want to pay attention to. So Google is a setup you should pay attention to, along with the Qs. Over the next few weeks, you want to watch XLK. This is the technology sector ETF. We want to pay attention to the 200 here as well for some longer term swing trade ideas. So Google, QQQ, XLK, and then I believe it was Jose brought up this setup yesterday. Intel hovering right here above that 200. Nice day of volume for Intel, and we're hovering right at that level. So again, everything's going to be at the mercy of the overall market, but two ways to play this. You could bounce off the 200 for a support play, or you could leak below that 200 for a nice short. But those are a few setups, guys, around the 200 I think that we should pay attention to. And then I don't know if you guys watch Simpler Options videos. That's John Carter's company, and he's got a few traders, Danielle, Henry Gamble. He's got a few traders that he's really groomed to put out videos on YouTube every night. I'll attach the link to this email, and they have some great ideas. One awesome thing about, coming up in the time that we are is that, kind of from a distance, you can really be mentored and collaborate with excellent, high-level elite traders, sometimes without ever speaking a word to them. John Carter's videos, John Carter's training has made me tens and thousands of dollars, probably more, but I've never met the guy in my life. Mike Bellafiore, focusing on a lot of his intraday, setups lately, has made me thousands of dollars over the past few months, but I've never met the guy personally. So, just like you guys do with focus trades, pay attention to these other trading, experts, so to say, because they can kick out a lot of good ideas. Now, a few ideas I took last night from Henry that I really like, so we're going to give him the credit. The first one being Disney. So Sharon, I'm sure you're going to like this one, my man. The setup that they're looking for in Disney, guys, is actually a weekly squeeze. So we can bring this bad Larry over here. Let's go to weekly. And cool. So they're watching this bigger picture setup here on Disney, while we're just going to watch this big screen of emptiness. Let me see. All right, here we go. So, Disney in that weekly squeeze, and this is a bigger picture setup, guys. Not something to day trade, not something to scalp. These are setups that, those guys at Simpler Options are paying attention to for, when the market does correct itself and begins to trend one direction. So they're looking at bigger picture setups like Disney. Disney here in a nice looking weekly squeeze, kind of, potentially getting ready to go test, these two highs right here. If the market can stabilize, if the market can return to a trending environment, these are the kinds of setups that we can swing with good results. So again, shout out to Henry Gamble from Simpler Trading. That's a great looking setup. Another nice looking squeeze here is in PayPal. So take a look here at PayPal, guys, and let me see. Same thing. They're just looking for moves up and above these highs on a bigger picture. Another one that they're looking at is Tesla. So here's Tesla, and again, in a really nice weekly squeeze. So just like you would trade the squeeze on a 5-minute chart, just like you would trade the squeeze on a daily chart, you can utilize that same setup on these big picture time frames to really prepare in advance for some good swing trade opportunities. Yes, we want to be prepared to, extract day trading profits. Yes, we want to be prepared to take short-term moves, but I really suggest that you guys, especially, this week, tomorrow we're going to have a day off, pull up some daily charts, pull up some weekly charts, some monthly charts, and start looking at some bigger picture setups. Let's prepare for swing trades that we may not be able to take for another few months, but when they are present, we're going to be prepared. GPC. That's a weekly squeeze that I'm looking for, and I think it's also squeezing here on a monthly. Let me take a look. right? So here's a huge monthly squeeze on GPC. And this is a big boy setup on a big boy time frame in a nice squeeze that could break out above all-time highs. So, just like I kind of, tried to, urge you guys yesterday to not rush into the market and not rush into trade opportunities, this morning I'm urging you guys to, when the market closes, kind of remove yourself from the noise, take yourself out of those 1-minute charts, those 5-minute charts, and put together a nice watch list of setups, like PayPal and Tesla and Disney and GPC here. And let's begin to put together, a nice watch list of opportunities that maybe we aren't going to be ready to take for the next few weeks. Maybe we don't take them for the next few months, but if we can have 4 or 5 nice, big picture potential swing trade setups, we're just going to be that much more prepared than the average trader when the market does stabilize. So that's what I think we should focus on today, guys. In terms of, the price action of what we can expect today, a few things could happen. We do got to keep in mind that the market is closed tomorrow. And the other thing we want to keep in mind, guys, is that, we made that big gap up yesterday. And, what could be considered, an overbought condition. The market has been trading higher basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7 days in a row here. We've been trading higher. So, a little pullback, especially considering the market is closed tomorrow, is pretty, is pretty likely, is not too unlikely. So in terms of what to expect today, keep in mind that the market is closed tomorrow. Keep in mind that we're a bit overbought, on a short-term standpoint. And keep in mind that there's nothing to gain by rushing into setups early on. Again, we'll just finish this morning's video with one more look at the 5-minute chart. Don't put yourself in a position to try to jump into a trade in the first few minutes only to be stuck in this position where you're just slowly bleeding out all day. You got to respect the environment. You have to respect the bigger picture. We're still in a chop fest. Until things stabilize and truly go into trend mode, we have to proceed with caution and we have to have a game plan. So that's my talk for this morning, guys. Be patient, and when the market closes tonight, go focus on some bigger picture setups, and let's all aim to have a goal of 3 to 4 or maybe 5 nice big picture potential swing trade setups, and then let's collaborate as a team, share ideas, and attack those setups together. So see you guys in the group chat, and let's have a good day.